Hello everyone and welcome. This is a very short overview video for exercise 2A. Again, I'm not going to go through the entire exercise, but I just want to point out a couple of tips, pointers, and also review at the end of exercise 2A what you need to do to save and submit your screenshot for credit for the exercise. So if we take a look at the textbook, again, exercise 2A, we're going to learn some basics. And a lot of exercise 2A is more about playing around with the platform, getting used to the menus and where things are. Now, as it mentions here in the textbook, something to think about is software is always updating. And a lot of times when you update, you move things around. So there will be some cases where you might see something that looks one way here in your textbook, and it's not exactly the same in your software program. I'll try to highlight those things, but sometimes it might mean you need to look around a little bit. This is also why if you are stuck somewhere, sending me a screenshot of kind of what you're looking at, where you are when you're stuck, what steps you're on, that always helps. All right, so the first thing you're going to want to do is to, hopefully by this point you have downloaded your ArcGIS Pro and you're going to want to start it. Now, sometimes when you download, it'll put a link on your desktop. For me, I have my link right here on my little taskbar. But if you look for this icon right here, not the teal blue box, just this icon, that's what you're trying to do to get in. Now, the first time you're doing this, it's going to ask you to log in with your ArcGIS Online account, which you should have made in previous weeks. Sometimes it'll keep you signed in. And again, always read over the tips and everything because there's a lot of information here as we go in deeper and deeper, and this is going to be very useful to you as we go on. So when you get in, it's going to ask you to do a new project template, and you'll see it has the screen here. Okay, but when I start my ArcGIS Pro, my start screen looks just a little bit different. So again, that's what I said about where things are oftentimes will change more frequently than what the icons look like. So the big thing here is when you're starting, you'll see it has this icon and the word map, and so that is here. Okay, so I'll click on that, and then it goes through, and you'll notice here it just says use a project template, and it doesn't really tell you anything about this saving screen that comes up. Essentially, when you start a new project, it allows you to name the project. I recommend they use First Look or something, but I recommend, exercise 2A, or just say exercise 2 because you'll use this for multiple times. You'll notice that it says create a new folder for this project. We'll get into this more, but GIS systems, when you look at a map, it might look like one thing to you, but oftentimes it's multiple files in the background. So sometimes creating a new folder for the project is a good thing, so it keeps everything self-contained. For the location, I recommend you choose a location and always use that particular location. So for instance, here, I made a folder called exercises. I'm going to put this here in my exercises folder. So then I say, okay. Now, I'll warn you, this takes sometimes a few minutes depending on how fast your computer is and things like that. So for right now, you should come up with a map that kind of looks like this. Okay. So if we go back, you're going to see that it gives you a little bit of an overview of the main windows and platforms. Notice their terminology that they use. These areas up here are ribbon tabs. Then you have tool groups, and then you have this content pane. You'll have your main project area, and then sometimes you have other panes. So there is a lot going on. This is very similar, though, in layout to something like Microsoft Word or other Microsoft products. So you might be a little familiar with that. And again, as we go, we'll be referring to these things. Okay. A couple of things that you want to do is it tells you to play around with things. Do that. Always be mindful. Sometimes it is very easy to lose things. But I did want to just go through when you're playing with the panes. Again, you can move your cursor to the top and you can drag the panes around. I've got my mouse button held down right now. And when you do that, there is this little icon right now. It's kind of by where it says United States. It almost looks like a video game controller. What that is showing you is if I move this catalog pane and I highlight that right rectangle, you should notice on the right-hand side of my screen, a blue rectangle is appearing. If I let go, it's going to pop it there. If I point it to the top and I let go, it's going to pop it there. So this little icon that appears is just kind of helping you to place it. Now, they ask you to close so that you can see more of what's going on. But if you ever need to open up these panes again, you can go to View. And once you're in View, you'll see right here is Catalog pane. So you can open it right back up. All right, so after you've done that a little bit, then they're going to have you import a map document. Now, this is going to be coming from those files, those data files that you're asked to download at the beginning of this course. So again, you're going to import that. So let me just go here to insert. I'm going to import my map. Now, I've already got this set up, but if it didn't automatically pop to this, you can click on anything over here. For me, it's this PC. Now, again, yours might look a little different. Remember, this is where you're going to have slight differences. Again, this is why I recommended putting this folder kind of on your desktop or somewhere easy to find. So it asks you to go to your GTKA G Pro data and go to World, and then you'll see an MXD. So these file extensions are important for different things. The MXD is your base map. So I'm going to open that up. So then you should have something like this. Now, again, as you go along, like I said, I'm not going to do quite all of these things, but as you go along, it's going to ask you and teach you how to do different things. And you really want to take some time and play with this, okay? Especially important here are things like our layers over here and turning them on and off. You're also going to be asked to point and drag and change the orientation. And that's one of the things when you turn in your screenshot, I'm going to be looking is to make sure that you've actually done that. So again, make sure you're going through and doing all of the steps in the exercise. So you're going to go through, it's having you turn things on and off, as I said, and getting a little bit of an idea of how layers work. I find sometimes when people lose things or can't find something, it's because a lot of times the order of the layers are important. And again, they'll kind of go through. Notice I clicked on this world population, nothing's happening. But if I drag my world population up here above cities, it'll change to that layer. So again, they're going to go over that with you. By the way, what I just did, I shouldn't have done that so fast, is here in the upper left-hand corner is the little arrow curving to the left. That is undo. That is my favorite button. If you ever do something, you're like, I don't know what I just did, or something, click the undo button. All right. Let me see. So again, you're going to go through, you're going to do some modifications. They're going to ask you to change the name from layers to world. Oops. Okay. So again, you're going to go through this and do all these different things. Now, I wanted to show this because sometimes, again, as you're getting oriented, it says on in the Explore the Map section, it says on the Map tab in the Navigate group, make sure the Explore tool is active. All right, so if we come back here, again, to kind of decode that, it says on the Map tab. So I click Map. And then it says in the Navigate group. So you look and see, here's the small little word Navigate. And then you can see here's the Explore tool. And they actually recommend, if you want, you can add it to the quick access bar, which I did up here. Explore simply allows you to kind of move things around and just what it says, explore the map. So again, I just wanted to show you that. I have a mouse with a wheel. I highly recommend for mapping. If you don't have a mouse with a wheel, it's actually a very good investment because you can use the wheel to zoom in and out. Depending on what you have, you can click the wheel. You can do all sorts of things. And as you go, sometimes those features really help. So again, you're going to go through, you're going to explore some of the map and working on getting used to how to use this particular program. Now, one other item that they notice here that they mention, and again, I'm kind of going fast right now, you'll go through this in more detail, is to notice that sometimes ribbons appear when you are doing different things. So here they had you click on a layer. In this case, it was the cities layer. So if I, let me just go back out here. If I click on the cities layer, it's now in blue. And this area over here kind of popped up. Now, again, so if I kind of, you'll see as you do different things, sometimes different groups will pop up. So keep an eye on that because sometimes that's a way to know if you're not certain why something's not showing up. It may be because you haven't clicked on something that would show that. All right. So you're going to go through, you're going to work on the attributes, and the attributes are essentially really they're the data. Okay. They're the points, the code, the information that's making this visual map. And that's the big thing with GIS to understand. It's more than just a visual map. GIS allows us to click on different parts of the map and suddenly start to see a lot of information. And again, we're going to go more and more into this. Eventually, you're going to be creating your own attribute tables for your data and for your maps. And again, we'll kind of get into that more later. All right, so you're going to go through, you're going to look at the attributes table. And again, you're going to go to the features ribbon and you're going to click on the data. So as mentioned, when you're playing around with this, that's why it's always important to keep an eye on what's popping up and what's not popping up. All right, so there's our attributes table. And again, if you click on any of these rows over here, like if I click on the little one over here to the left, it'll highlight that entire area. And it's kind of hard to see here, but it also highlights the wherever the point is on the map. So the attributes table, we're going to be doing, like I said, a lot with this. Okay, so you're going to continue to go down and work through, and then you'll get to this area down here towards the bottom, and you'll see it says clear the selection. Click the clear button on the map tab and zoom to the full extent of the map and click the save button. So you clear, we're going to close this attributes table. We're going to go to the map tab again, click on this little thing right here, full extent, make sure we're there. And then you're going to click on, you're going to click on save. And, you know, there are some different ways to do that. If you hold open these different buttons, you'll see there's save right there. So you can save that way. Now, once you've saved this and you're here and you've done everything else in exercise 2A, what I'd like you to submit to receive credit for your 2A is at this full extent view, when you've renamed everything, rearranged everything, select a country, okay? I don't care what country it is. And notice my pop-up is coming up over here. Your pop-up might be here. It might be a different size. That's fine. But I'd like you to pop up for a country. And I'm going to kind of move this out of the way again. Let me go over here. Let's do Australia. That one's a little easier to see. And you want to make sure wherever your pop-up is that I can see your contents pane and I can see the pop-up. Then you're going to take a screenshot of this entire screen so that I can see the contents, I can see the pop-up, and I can see your background map. And you're going to save that screenshot, and that is what you are going to turn in to exercise 2A. Okay, you're not going to worry about training the map. You're going to do that more for 2B. So for 2A, you're going to submit a screenshot showing that you've completed it. Make sure to do that before you go on to 2B, because with 2B, you're going to be manipulating things more and you will lose some credit if you don't have that main shot. So again, when you reach the end of exercise 2A, select a country and open the icon for statistics for that country. And again, you can do it the way I did it. You can click on it and then just click on the little pop-up, however you wish to do that. And then take that screenshot. All right. So that is exercise 2A. Take care.